All right, it's Dr. Nick here to talk about Tyrese Maxey's hamstring injury with Fauzi, and I feel very closely attached to this because not only do I have my pseudo medical knowledge, but I also have Tyrese Maxey stashed in my injury slot. So, 76ers incredibly disappointing this season. Joel Embiid doesn't play. Paul George just came back and he hasn't looked great. That one guy in the comments who wants to maybe he's waiting for that 40 bomb. Just out on a side, that guy is waiting for a good game from Paul George. He's going to slide right in the comments. Right? Hasn't
Let,
happened yet, though, has it?
let it
All
go,
right,
Nick.
let's go back to Tyrese Maxey.
Let it go,
Tyrese
Nick.
Maxey.
Let it go.
Tyrese Maxey hurt his hamstring, and he was averaging like 27 and 4 assists and 3 rebounds, and he was just chucking up shots. Um, he is now kind of like out on multiple weeks. So why are they doing this? He's a young guy. Surely Philly's trying to make the finals, etc. Philly's already in trouble. I don't. I think they know that Joel Embiid's not coming back anytime soon because Tyrese Maxey is not being rushed back anytime soon.
What?
And
What? What? I'm going to interrupt right now.
go.
What? Joel Embiid is not coming back soon.
He's not coming back soon.
He's not. Is he not in
No.
the middle of serving this suspension to return after 3 games?
Okay. And then once he's served those suspension games, then he's back. So he's back this week.
Isn't he back next week?
Okay. I don't know. I like how neither of us can give a definitive answer on Joel Embiid being back. Look, man, I think unfortunately for Philadelphia, they've already slid quite far down in the standings. Now
Yes.
they're in the East. They literally have to win 3 games, and they're probably in the top 6 again. So it's not over for them. But their long term, like I don't know what the long term plan here is. And Tyrese Maxey is clearly their best. I'm almost going to say it's that he's their best player because Joel Embiid will not be with the team in 10 years' time, but Tyrese Maxey could. And Tyrese Maxey still probably hasn't reached his max potential, but I think we know Joel Embiid's max potential. Tyrese Maxey doesn't have injury concerns at this stage, whereas Joel Embiid does. Tyrese Maxey is their asset. He's their franchise guy. And Daryl Morey's even come out and said that you have to trade me Jordan for Tyrese Maxey. So I do worry that they're going to keep Tyrese Maxey on the bench for a good while here. And I could look at exploring a trade because Tyrese Maxey has really high raw stats. Maybe hurts you in turnovers and percentages, but that's a byproduct of not having teammates to really work around. But for me, in my case, a young player who might get the keys to the team because Paul George and Joel Embiid won't be there when he actually returns, I'm going to stash him and I'm going to hold on to him and I'm not going to freak out too much because similar to how we talked about Paolo Banchero, young stars, they're I feel better about a young star coming back than a guy that's 12 years older than them. So I'm stashing, but what would you do?
It's an interesting take here. There's a little bit of in my book here that um, the Maxi situation and what happened with Devin Booker. Yeah. Obviously Booker was a focal point for the Phoenix Suns, number one option. You guys went to the finals, fell short, and KD arrived. Now Bradley Beal's arrived. Half that team's gone. All those young players on the same timeline of him obviously left or were traded away, yeah, or not resigned. And it's a whole nother universe what Booker could have become if you never made those trades from the Phoenix Suns side, yeah. And I think the situation here is similar in Philly, where Embiid was the issue, yeah, and he's always been the issue from an injury perspective. His talent's always been there, right? He's an MVP player. Last season, crazy stat. I love it, where he was scoring more points than minutes. Yeah, love that stat. Yeah, and they were on track to be top two in the East. Yeah, and this was Tobias Harris as an option there, and Tyrese Maxey being clearly a number two option in that situation. Now they brought in Paul George. All these players have gone. They brought in all these other vets to try and shore up the depth. They're all trying to fight for sort of their last sort of contracts, probably that last big payday they can try and get, and trying to get some production and minutes in Philly. They're off to a terrible start. It's a bad situation. There's not,
Yeah.
I guess, no other way to spin this. This is a bad situation. I think Tyrese Maxey, from a fantasy perspective, because that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about from a fantasy perspective. He's not going to reach those ceilings that he did. Definitely not this season that he did last season, and maybe potentially not never again. Okay, but that's a whole nother take. Yeah, okay, but
Yeah.
the thing here is that so right now he's injured. I think you shop him heavily. Yeah, if that would be my suggestion. Again, can you get value for him? He's not even on KD's level. Okay, he's not even KD's level. That the consistency that KD just brings, and we talked about KD with the last video, that KD has just done this for year in, year out, year in, year out. Yeah. Whereas Tyrese Maxey, right now shooting 40%, like you said, jacking up shots, 23 shot attempts right now. That's got to kill your percentages. If you're doing a Cats head-to-head category there. Sure, his points are up to 27, 28. Yeah, but it's only giving you less assists here, 4 assists only, 3 rebounds. Nothing really stands out there. I don't know who again you try and target that they would actually want to bite on that, especially now he's injured as well. But I think you either sort of ride him, you're saying stash him, and accept the fact that he's not going to give you what you thought he might have given you, like from based upon last season's production, or you try and shop him heavily and try and get somebody in that sort of maybe high teens, let's say 18 and 5 production. Right? Let's say like a Tyler Hero. If you could trade Tyrese Maxey for Tyler Hero right now, I think you should seriously consider it. Yeah, and Tyler Hero is not playing the same level as a player as him, but again, I think that's the situation I think that you're faced with if you're holding him right now.
I love our little mind games where I tell you to drop Chet and you're like, nah, he's a stash, and then I say I'm stashing Tyrese.
Well, we know, man. We've done videos for a while now, up to 900 and something. That our worst videos are ones we just agree with each other, right? Oh man, I just agree with you. That's a good one.
No, I think, look, I like your point about the fact that the team composition is really choppy. The veterans wanting contracts, aging stars. Tyrese still being young.
He's not in a good place. It would hate to be him in early 20s to be where he's at right now.
Well,
he's got his money, but like,
if he is able to play with those other star guys, then he's more efficient, and he still probably gives you like 20 and 7, and that's good. But if he's on his own, then yeah, he's going to have, almost like a Jordan Poole situation last year where he's got free reign, and he's looked decent so far, but it's not sustainable for 82 games. So I totally get it. And you wonder if this hamstring injury is a workload issue, because when you dominate the ball, you take more bumps than everyone else on the court, and you end up sprinting and stopping a lot more than everyone else. And I'm stashing, but I do appreciate what you said. I respect your opinion.
Maybe this I'm sure we'll probably come back to Philly at some point if they continue to be where they are in the standings towards really the bottom of the East right now. And B, depending on his situation, comes back. Does he get hurt again? What's going on with PG? He gets hurt again. Who knows? Yeah, these are all potential situations that happen in Philly right now over the next few weeks and months. But there's an argument you made here that that veterans that you get signed in from free agents from another club, they have no real loyalty to what you're trying to do there, especially when it's not clicking. That's the catch.
Well,
right?
not if, yeah,
when it's not clicking.
Exactly. Not when it's obvious. Like, there's a reason why the Cavs teams, when LeBron was there, were always picking up notable free agents. It's because everyone went there knowing we're probably going to the finals and I've got a chance to win a ring. Philly
you buy in at that point. Yeah, when you're 10 and 1, you buy in. When you're 1 and 10, you go, oh man, I'm just got to get my own now.
Yeah, especially when they're playing for another contract next year.